Welcome to this week's EMBN show. Neil, I've got an experiment happening at my house with e-bikes.
Yeah?
I'm going to tell you about that in a bit, but we've also got some really great things to talk about this week. Limited edition Mondraker to talk about. Trade authorities cutting tariffs on e-bikes.
That sounds like good news, Martyn.
Yeah, it is good news. And we've got some very nice e-bike balance bikes. Should we start with those?
I've got some experience in this sort of bikes.
Yeah,
My boy,
go on.
Miles, loves his little Husky. It's a Stasic brand it's called, and he's been razzing along on it. So it's basically a balance bike, which you can use a throttle on as well. And this looks very similar, different design, but same sort of motor system. It's from Super 73. It is £1,099, so it's a bit spendy.
That's the bit we're going to talk about.
Designed for kids between 4 and 8. 3 speeds, so up to 7 miles an hour, up to 13, then 15 miles an hour, which does work really well. It's the same system as the one that my boy has. Super safe. You can let him learn how to use the throttle. So it's kind of, like I say, it's a proper little balance bike, because if the battery runs out, he does spin along on it really nicely. And he's learned how to ride a bike really well.
I got to ask the question, Neil. I often do on the EMBN show. That price... You kidding me?
It's expensive. Yes.
I mean, it is, to say it is it's a very lovely design, but it is very basic. I mean, it's 2 tubes.
Do you feel like it's maybe a niche product as well?
It's niche. I mean, it looks great, which is what they're selling it on. It looks great. Like you said, the system is basically a hub motor. It's going to work great. It's well tested, tried and tested, been around for years, and this is it, refined, and it looks great. But £1,000, I just don't know where that takes us if this could become a norm. This feels like this is the very e-bike that should be affordable.
Very true. Yeah. It's also worth noting that in the UK, it is currently you have to ride this on private land. It's not legal.
It's an off-road bike.
Having said that, what in my experience, I'm sure it's the same with the bike that I have, but a young 4-year-old riding along on this, they're virtually silent. Everyone loves it, so you're unlikely to be arrested, I would say.
Yeah, it's great. 750 watt peak power.
Yep.
That's scary.
Mars pulls me along on full power quite swiftly.
Yeah, very cool. Right, gear change here. Some e-bike tariffs changing in the UK. This is the Trade Remedies Authority are lowering these tariffs on bikes being dumped in from China, which is great. It's probably worth up to £51 million to the UK economy. That's good. And on average, about £260 worth on each e-bike. On average, it's worth.
Presumably, if the manufacturers and shops pass that on to the end user.
Yes, if they do. But good news anyway. It shows that the authorities are looking at e-bikes in the right way, which is encouraging.
We're definitely going to see that as the future of, we love them for leisure, but I love them for mobility as well. I do have a 20-inch wheel urban one it's got a basket on the front, and that's my bike around town. As we all know, e-bikes are brilliant for that as well. So hopefully this does trickle through to our off-road users like ourselves as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I'm coming to my eMTB experiment in a moment, but hold your horses. First, I want to talk about, because I know everyone's desperate to hear about it, is the limited edition Mondraker. This is
in the Gulf colours that you've seen everywhere. Yeah. There's toys. The people love doing their own take on this on cars, motorbikes, whatever.
Yeah. This was official though. Done with Gulf themselves.
Really interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, and they've got 50 available, so it's very limited edition. £11,899.
Top end of the scale on the price.
Yeah, nearly €14,000. Obviously, hand-painted in the same colours as the legendary 1970 Porsche 917K Gulf Oil race car, of course. I didn't know that bit. I've got to be honest.
Oh,
I know
guess
the
not.
look, but I didn't know the car
But it
itself.
is the Mondraker Neat, which has that TQ HPR50 motor, 360 watt-hour battery plus a 160 range extender available, 17.9 kilograms, so it's a lightweight bike, 29er, 160 front, 150 rear.
Yeah, I tell you what, we've got some new bike talk to go to here as well. From Scor, the 6080Z. 180mm rear
It's a
travel.
Nissan, isn't it?
190 front travel, 29, 25, 7.5 wheels. This one has got the Bosch Performance CX motor that I know well. 85 Newton meters of torque, of course. 750 watt-hour battery. There's two models of the 6080. There's the ZLT GX, which is €7,000, and the ZLT NX, which is the more budget version, €5,500. Like I said, mixed wheel sizes. And it's got a virtual pivot point as well. Good looking bike. Do you want to hear the angles?
Well, I was going to hit you with, did you know Scor, Swiss brand, is actually part of BMC?
I didn't. I don't know much about Scor, I've got to be honest. I don't know that brand.
Loose Dog Lewis rides a Scor,
Yeah.
but BMC probably more well known for cross-country bikes. Scor coming in with these.
Yeah, this is my first look at them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice looking bike. Yeah.
I'll tell you about angle, shall I?
Go on.
63, slack at angle to 63.4. So proper downhill bike, long travel bike territory, as it is. 190 fork on it. 77, 77.6 seat angle, and the reach is 485 and a large.
Yeah. It's a cool looking bike. Nice to see some new stuff coming out. Right, talking about new stuff coming out. This isn't absolutely brand new, but I'm quite excited about it. It's now available to order, right? This is the Orange AD3, okay? Yeah. An amazing adaptive eMTB. It's for riders like myself who have got lower limb mobility difficulties. I seem to have difficulties with my lips.
Chatting.
Talking. I remember my first day talking. This bike is incredible. It's a really radical design.
Isn't it?
It's like nothing else out there.
Kind of. I mean, it's not like a motorbike, but like you see those in Europe. You see those three-wheeler motorbikes. Kind of reminds me of those two up front. Super clever linkage systems, getting the steering. And I guess that's how it works, kind of like that. Yeah,
it's really hard to explain. Actually, Alex Desmond, the guy who designed it, I saw this bike in its prototype form very, very early on. And weirdly, he's taken the design actually from how helicopter rotors work. He was explaining it to me, but I've got to be honest, it went like the helicopter well over my head. I didn't really get it, but Alex, he's an absolute genius and has made this bike work. Like I said, it's very radical. Great to see it being ridden. I guess I got to put it out there. I'd love a go on it.
It's using
I've never ridden one.
A bucket seat system that you've used from Sitski initially.
Well, yeah, exactly. And the prototype actually was my bucket seat. I lent it to Alex, and he never gave it back. But anyway, I don't mind that. It's good to see a different design out there being made and put to the test. Like I said, I'd love a go on it, Orange. If you fancy get yourself an eMTB video with EMBN, let us know. Very cool bike.
We shall head over to Steve, heading back actually to Riva del Garda. Steve, this time he's chatting with Ceramic Speed.
Did a video recently with Pete Collab from the eBike Motor Centre in the UK. And what Pete basically said is that the bearings on a lot of e-mountain bike motors are very poor. If you upgrade the bearings, you get a motor which is going to last a lot longer. I was just about to walk off Ceramic Speed stand. I saw this custom bearing, and it's pretty durable, you say?
Yeah, for sure. With our industry customers, we guarantee between 4 and 8 times lifetime compared to whatever they're using. So we're actually on the hook for if the bearing wears out before that claim, then we have to do a replacement, which is quite costly for some of our industry partners.
Is this bearing out of a legit piece of machinery?
Yeah, this one's coming out of the Arla, which is a big dairy company down the road from us in Denmark. This one's coming out of a butter machine. And if that thing turns down, then there's no butter in Denmark.
So basically what you're saying is a bearing such as this could have an application in an e-mountain bike motor, possibly?
Time will tell, but just tell your brands to give us a ring.
Okay, will do. I'm sure they're watching.
Right, you ready for some feedback?
Yes, we love your feedback on comment sections of all the videos, not just this one, and we'll go through them. And we've seen actually from Owen's first eMTB ride video, he recently went out with Steve to find out what they thought of the Velotric hardtails. And David Whitworth said, it's about time we get to see some budget e-mountain bikes. Hope to see more of them being featured in the future. Yes.
Yes,
point,
and I'm quite excited about this because the Velotric e-bike is going home with me tonight.
Yeah.
Because it's part of my experiment I'm doing, right? I've got Lisa, my wife, out on bikes this last week, just in the evenings. In 30 years of riding bikes and being involved in the industry, she's started coming out for a ride with me. It's never happened before.
She never rode trials?
She never rode trials, no. She used to work here, actually, but not doing any of the bike stuff. And she's quite interested in trying an e-bike. So I thought, right, what I'll do is I'll take back a few different types of e-bike and we'll get a genuine kind of experience of the kind of beginner experience of like coming across different types of e-bikes. So I'm going to take a hardtail back with the Velotric, and then I'm going to take a lightweight bike back, and then I'm going to take a like full power bike back and see where she ends up, what she likes, and then I'll know what to buy. I'll bring them all back, of course.
You'll sell them one at a time.
No, I'll bring them all back.
You'll have to tell us how she gets on and if she falls in love or if she's...
Now, I would do this as a video, but you probably know Lisa doesn't do cameras, so I can't film any of it, unfortunately, which would make a great video.
It would be interesting to find out.
But maybe I'll try and do a secret behind-the-scenesy bit without her watching. But I have just said that here, so I don't know if she watches.
Watch this.
I don't know if she watches.
On to, there's another question about Velotrics. There's a few of you asked about where to buy them, as they don't seem available in the UK. It's only available in America at the moment, but I think you need to keep your eyes peeled on their dealer page because it sounds like they will be expanding their dealers. Hopefully come into a market near you.
That's interesting.
And also, this one is good as well. Steve recently had a chat with Klaus from Nikolai about their prototype bike. And on that, Pat Donoghue said, my next e-mounted bike will be a belt-driven bike. Glad to see that Bosch, Pinion and other companies are moving this way. Hopefully, they can be affordable. What do you think? Belt drive does seem...
I mean, that bike, I love it. And that whole, the 3x3 gear system, so it's got 9 gears in total, just thought that... I've been waiting for this stuff, and I'm not alone in that, I'm sure. I just want to see the motor doing the work, handling all of the gear system, and then the belt drive taking all of the sound out, and the derailleur's gone. Love it. That's where I want it all to go.
There are many. We always talk about obviously the MGU and that the gearbox and the motor together, but also like the sprung mass. I talk about this in some of the videos I've done on EMBN, where actually moving the weight to the middle and taking it away from the unsprung mass is great for how the bike feels. Yeah. So there's many benefits if the engineers can nail the execution, I suppose. Yeah.
I do find it really funny when you're talking about sprung and unsprung mass. How slow my brain moves around that concept.
I should know it by now.
Great feedback from you guys on that, and love getting that feedback on any of the videos, so keep all that coming. Right, time to head in to the EMBN Bike Vault this week. And first one, Orbea Wild in the wild, Neil, just where we want to see it.
We see these all the time. And this is a Mayo. So on Orbea Mayo, you can design your own bikes, choose some all different colours. And this looks like a baby blue stroke navy blue combo, which is amazing.
It's a super nice D greener.
Do we know where that is? Because that looks...
that is the North Devon Coastal Park.
I've been there. I've walked that way last September. I thought I recognised it. Yeah. It's quite a tough walk around there, and I bet it was much more fun on an e-bike as well. Yeah.
Next up, Cheddar Gorge in the UK.
It's just down the road.
Look at that, high bike from C. Digby.
Good big Olin's triple clamp fork up front.
Yeah, big old eight free ride. Really nice. There's not many of them around. Next up, we have got, from David Merritt, is New Bike Day. Oh, fantastic.
Orange Phase MX Pro at Sherwood Pines. It's the first time I've been on a full power e-bike, and I'm not disappointed.
And lastly, in the Bike Vault, we've got a great picture from Stuart in Glentress. Yeah. Up in the peaks there.
Big mountains, a lovely place for an e-bike ride. Actually, Stuart's easing himself back in 4 weeks after he broke his collarbone at Glentress.
Oh, I might give him a super nice then.
Feeling sorry for him? Yeah,
well done, Stuart. Getting back out
there. Does feel good. I've done it lots of times, but getting back on your bike after injury, you realise what you've been missing.
Right, let's get into some social stuff that's been grabbing our attention. Cara Beale hitting the jumps.
Trying to progress her jumping.
Oh my God, this isn't what's going to happen to Lisa, is it? I'm not doing
Yeah,
it.
exactly. It's Bike Park Wales, just down the road from you as well. Let's get up there.
God.
Now, Martin, we're moving into trials territory. This is AG141 getting some rock action on the gas.
Love it.
Appropriately. Gas, I suppose.
That's how you ride a gas. That's exactly how you do it. Well done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great bit of riding. It's not easy to get that back wheel control once the old suspension's getting in the way, you know? It sort of fights against you a little bit.
Big bike. And Dylan Stark as well, been sending out this. He said he stopped at Uncle Bender's, Icebox Acres and caught a sesh with Shibby Time. Follow me through the line on the EUC.
Oh man, and I just shout out to Shibby Time. I love Shibby Time. He's a lovely guy. Met him in Cielo. And I love a bit of one wheel. I think it's great. I think it's mountain biking. I'm just putting that out. Actually, it's e-biking, isn't it?
Is it? I don't know, man.
It is, Neil.
I went to Bentonville and it's really popular there. I didn't know what it was. And someone said to me, do you know what one wheels are? I was like, no. And then it turns out it's a big thing.
Yeah, they're really, really heavy motors that you put between your legs and hope you don't break your ankles.
I saw a great video of someone trying to go up a really steep hill the other day and kind of face planting and then getting pile driven by it up his rear end.
They are cool and some really good stuff.
Arguably, they aren't that cool, but I'll let you have it.
Right, we've got some great stuff coming up on EMBN this week, so make sure you don't miss out. It looks a bit like this. Looks like a good week, Neil.
Doesn't it just? I'm getting in some e-bike action as well in the next week, so you'll see that on the channel soon. I'm actually getting back on my Canyon talk on CF Roxon with the Boxer up front.
Jealous of that.
Favourite bike, I love it. This is my downhill bike for bombing, so I will be riding that this week.
Yeah, well, lots coming up. Definitely looking forward to seeing Neil out on his, and we will see you on the EMBN show next week.
Yeah.